Today I have in front of me a piece of coffee equipment that has probably excited me the most so far this year. And this is the Staresso Discovery II. The Discovery 1 I had for a little bit before giving off to a friend, and it was a nice little hand grinder that did a really good job that you could make espresso with as well as pour over. But recently they released the Staresso Discovery 2. Now, I want to give a full disclosure. Staresso did send me over all of this equipment for review and for video. They don't get to see this beforehand, so this is completely up to me and my full opinion on it. I'm going to be reviewing the Staresso 2. I'm not going to be reviewing too much of the espresso machine that they sent me because I've already done that in the past. So one of the reasons why this excites me so much in this coffee world is because this is an electric grinder that is portable. This is completely rechargeable via USB-C, so it has a simple charging port on top here and a power button here. You unlatch this top portion here by a little simple twist, and you have a little motor mechanism in here, and this is where you fill up your grind chamber with your beans. And then at the bottom here, you simply unscrew it, and you have your catch cup, and you have your click adjustment similar to like what you would see on a Commandante. So I'm going to be going over a little bit of this grinder, but first off, I want to go ahead and pull a shot with it. So this is the Staresso portable espresso machine. I've reviewed this before. This is a decent machine. However, this is not my favorite. It's around $130. And personally, I would say if you have the money and you're going to buy one of these things, go ahead and just buy yourself a Pico Presso because I think that does a little bit better job than the Staresso. However, it does do fairly well. It comes with this nice stand. So you simply put boiling water in here, and I've already pre-ground the coffee using this Staresso prior to this video. So we're going to fill that up, put my kettle off to the side, and this is just a simple pump mechanism here. So you turn this right here. I believe this also uses a 54 millimeter portafilter in here. So I do that with basically my Normcore tamper that I use for a Breville Barista Express or most of the Breville machines. There we go, we got some flow going here. The scale underneath of here is the Akaya Cinco scale. This has been replaced with the Pixis scale, which is no longer also being made. This is one of their 5th year anniversary scales, and it's really nice because it's smaller than the Akaya Lunar and more accurate than the Akaya Lunar. It's a fun little scale to have. I've had it for quite a while now. Now I did a terrible job of distributing my grounds in here, so it's a little janky on here, but more or less it is a decent shot of espresso. I'm going to let that finish dripping and switch it over with a different cup. Now, one of the things I don't like about this machine is it is pretty hard to get consistent, and it is pretty plasticky when it comes to it. I do like the fact that it uses a 54 millimeter portafilter. You can buy this Staresso tamper, which is pretty nice. It has like a ripple effect on the bottom, and you can also buy this little funnel too as well. I do not like this cup, but it pulls a pretty good shot of espresso. Not the best, not the worst. Part of it is the grinder is decent. It's not phenomenal, but let's go ahead and get into it. So this grinder comes in around $130. And one of the things that I've noticed in my coffee journey is I absolutely hate hand grinding. And when I travel, it means I have to probably bring a hand grinder or pack a larger grinder. I also drive on a regular basis for work. So this would allow me to be able to make coffee in my car pretty easy without having to hand grind, and I just simply recharge it at the end of the day. So I preloaded some beans in there, and all you got to do is simply click this power button here on top, and it will grind automatically for you. As you get toward the end of it, you can hear it ramp up. It stopped grinding beans, and it's going to automatically shut off for you. Occasionally, it'll get stalled on the finer ones, and then you just simply got to re-click that power button, and it will continue to grind for you and shut off when it's done. I simply tap this on my palm just a little bit to get out the grinds, and there we go. We now have a nice clean bottom of this, and then we have a nice set of coffee grounds here on the bottom, very even, works super well. It does take probably similar to the length of a hand grinder, maybe a little bit quicker, but the nice thing is you don't have to be the one doing it. It just does it for you by the simple click of a button, It's got 4 lights on the top of it to indicate how much battery life is left on here. It can do everything from espresso to pour over to AeroPress, Chemex, whatever you want to do with it, it can do with it. It is a little iffy. I find it jumping a little too much when from click to click on the inside for espresso. I would like it to see a little bit more finer adjustments, but I absolutely love this thing because it takes the need to carry a hand grinder with me, and it does not take up much more space for a grinder. For example, right here I have the Turin H40, which is a great little hand grinder here. This is pretty similar in size. Its height is almost identical, just a little taller on the Staresso, and the width is also just a little bit wider on the Staresso, but nothing really crazy, and you also don't have to pack this handle. When you actually put the handle on here, the Turin is a little bit taller. This is similar to some of the Espresso ones as well, but for a full-fledged grinder that is automatic, this is incredibly compact, and it comes in at what I think is a reasonable price point of $130, I believe. I'm super impressed with this for $130, considering they put a motor in there. If they actually made this, if they made this a little bit more adjustable, if they made it so it wasn't, this is my least favorite way to adjust things, is on the inside here like the Commandant. I just don't like this little click setting. However, it does at least give you a number indication here to kind of help a little bit with that, but I wish they made a dial on the outside to adjust it. And I honestly wish they would make this a little bit more expensive, and they would add a better burst set to it to give you a little bit better capability for espresso. However, I still get some great shots with it. It's just obviously not as great as what I'm used to using a Flatbur DF64 grinder. But it does a very, very good job in comparison to this Turin H40, which is probably my go-to pick for a budget-friendly hand grinder that you can make espresso with or pour over with. I'm just super excited for this because I have never owned one of these electric grinders like this. Typically when I travel, I would use a Lagome Mini, and I would bring a travel case with that, and it would just take up a little bit more space, but it was a good grinder. I love the ability to charge it via USB-C, which means I don't have to bring any other cable than what I'm used to bringing for my MacBook or my iPad or things like that. Everything works with this one cable. Phenomenal grinder. Like I said, stalls a little bit, but hasn't really been an issue as long as you re-click the button. I would definitely really consider traveling, pairing this with something like a PicoPresso. I would kind of forgo the Staresso espresso machine. It's just not as great as I would like it to be, but it does compact well and it does pull a good shot. I like the PicoPresso, how everything fits into kind of like a nesting egg style thing where you can put the coffee inside of, where you can put the coffee tools inside of your espresso machine on the PicoPresso, so you can have the tamper and the funnel already included in the small little package. Definitely worth picking up. Even if you already have a hand grinder, this is something I would really encourage most people to go out to buy because it's super fun to just be able to carry this around. If you're going camping, if you're traveling, just clicking a button and having a simple, easy hand grinder you use that automatically shuts off so it doesn't waste the battery, and it lasts quite a while on one charge. I've probably done 7 or 8 shots with this thing on one charge, and it works incredibly well. If you made it this far in the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps me produce more content. Thank you to Staresso for sending these out to me. If you're looking at purchasing these, please use the link below. Hands down, worth it, and thank you so much for watching.